I believe personally that it has to do with competitive advantage and getting there first if you can. And sometimes you can't because you will have too much tech debt. So don't even try and focus on continuing to fix the basics. And I think that's where there's a lot of challenges in a lot of organizations. Everybody is running because they have a fear of missing out. Everybody wants a new shiny tool. They get there first, but the value is not quite there because they haven't done it appropriately.
Welcome to Data and AI Mastery, the podcast where we bring you cutting-edge insights, practical advice, and inspiring stories from the leaders shaping the future of data and AI across the globe. I'm your host, Raoul Gabriel Irma, founder of Cambridge Spark, the leader in transformational data and AI upskilling, career development, and progression. In each episode, I will be diving into real-world case studies of companies harnessing the power of AI to drive innovation, reduce costs, and create new business opportunities. So whether you're an aspiring data scientist, AI engineer, or seasoned executive, this show is designed to give you the tools and knowledge to stay ahead in a world where data is transforming every aspect of business. Stay ahead, stay inspired, stay masterful. Welcome to Data and AI Mastery. Hey Miryem, good to see you.
Hey Raoul, really good to see you. Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to have you on the show. You have an incredible story to share. So you're the Director of Digital Data and Transformation at VodafoneThree, which is a really exciting role. I'd love to kick us off with a bit about your background and your career. So maybe to get us started, can you tell us, what were the sort of the key moments through your career to get to where you are today?
As you said, Director of Digital Data and Transformation for VodafoneThree. VodafoneThree is a new merge co between Vodafone UK and Three UK. We've got the approval to go ahead last year in July. And what the role entitles is basically digital, which is all of our web and apps. So making sure that our customers can have the unassisted tools to be able to interact with us, as well as all of the employee tooling. So anything to do with CRM and ITSM and our unified communication so that we can really offer the best experience to our colleagues. In the data space, it's actually all of our data tooling, right? So we want to run our business optimally, but we also want to become and we want to be a data-driven organization. And we're set up in a way where we have all of our reports and visualization in a space. We have decision intelligence helping us with our customer 360 and prospect 360. And as well as obviously the original AI, which is all of the data science and machine learning engineering that's powering our business. In the transformation space, what we do is mainly like the more kind of backbone, big transformation programs that are impacting different areas of the business, require proper rationalization, business change management, training, communication, and the team manages that across the board. I also look after our Vodafone Business IT Hubs, which is a sales channel. It's a sales channel that is an MSP, and it's a very new sales channel that we've launched in July 2025. And this is a long in the making program. And it came about because we figured out that there is a real opportunity for small, medium enterprises to have IT managed services, but they can't really afford a proper CIO, CDO, Chief AI Officer. And therefore, we came up with the offering as a managed service. So we're helping them not only to manage all of their cyber and all of their IT, but also we can offer them professional services for all transformation. And it made sense for it to sit within my team because it's what we do internally as well. So that's the role.
Yeah.
And more importantly, I am a huge advocate of diversity and inclusion. When I joined Vodafone UK 4.5 years ago, and then to become VodafoneThree, I created this network called Women in Data. It's a network basically that spans across all of the Vodafone companies, so 100,000 employees or so. And the rationale is because I was getting a lot of requests for mentorship. And whilst I love spending as much time as possible supporting, there are so many hours in the day. So I thought about this network because it would give the opportunity for ladies and allies that are interested in the tech world, be it IT, digital data analytics, to come to the meetings, get to know people, get some mentors, learn about transferable skills. Like most people or ladies that I met that wanted to move in the space would worry, oh, do I need a PhD in data science to come to the data world? I'm like, no, I don't have one. And that's how that kind of came about. And it's up and running now. We have lots of followers. We have meetings on webinars on monthly, if not weekly basis. And once a year, we get together and we bring in some of the external ladies that work in the space to talk about their experiences. And this is important for me because obviously I am a woman in tech, I am a woman in data and digital. And whilst my experience in the workforce have been good overall, it's been sometimes a little bit harder. So I want to leave the workplace a better place for all of our daughters, sons, and everyone, basically.
If we keep going with this thread, then, as part of the transformation journey that you've been on, what are some of the misconceptions that you think that people have that, you might be able to debunk as a result of your experience?
Specifically in the data and analytics space, I think one of the biggest misconceptions, and I hear it all the time, is like the data is wrong.
Yeah.
Call the data officer, basically. I think that education of people that not everything that is called data is going to sit within the data office and that we're able to provide them an example. We do a lot of external research, obviously, so that we can plan all sorts of programs. And that research comes from some of our partners that scrape the data, etc. And it doesn't sit with us specifically. And yet people seem to think about that as, because you have in your title data. I always thought that was quite interesting, definitely. And then people will target a team. And I think that's one of the important parts when we talk about data literacy. It's kind of explaining where the data and analytics team sit, what their accountability is, and what the definition of data is and how it fits in within an organization. In fact, definitions are really important for me. I try to always start with definitions when I'm talking about anything because whatever one thing means to you is not going to be the same for me, basically.
I guess we jump to the AI space because it's all the rage, and you've been on a really interesting journey recently, right?
Mhm.
So, can you tell us a bit about the recent work with the AI strategy,
Yeah.
VodafoneThree? How did the conversation even start? If we start with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we've done is something completely different from anything that we've done before. We sat down as a team and we challenged ourselves to say, what we know is artificial intelligence is really going to transform our business, but we can't see it, obviously. We don't have a crystal ball, unfortunately. And we know that it's going to impact the core business model as well as our operating model. So let's start, but what we feel comfortable, we know. We know that we're going to have a business and we want it to be thriving. We're going to sell, we're going to build, we're going to run. It's one of the key pillars of what we do as a business and any business. In fact, you can sell either the selling part is going to be to a consumer or to B2B or wholesale, etc. It's not as important. But these three key pillars we thought were a good foundation to start. And then from that, we thought about where do we see kind of that homeostasis between artificial intelligence and human intelligence, because we do believe, and we're seeing it now as we're deploying AI capabilities organically, we know that there's going to be a working space between the two. And then from that, we wanted to come up with percentages. In the self space, what do we expect the percentage human versus AI in the build place and in the run place? And then we expect that there's still going to be some supporting and central functions. This is everything that to run your business, your HR, your finance, your legal, etc. Again, in that space, we wanted to come up with that percentages and how they work together. That was our starting point. Then the second part was, and now we need to figure out what our customer experience is going to look like. I spoke earlier about that digital transformation. The anchor of a digital transformation is personas and customers and what they expect from us as a business. Now our customer can become an AI, an agent, as well as a human. We never had any thought any thinking around this. So that's something that we need to take into account. But now also some of our employees are going to be agents. So agent to agent, how does that fit in within, the customer experience, which normally drives the outcome of any transformation? And then we had an idea of what we wanted to achieve in the next few years. That was the first part of our AI strategy. So we decided that the right thing to do is let's go on a roadshow. We have amazing partners, big tech, consultancies, advisory. Let's go share a view of where we are with our AI strategy, and let's gather some feedback. Let's make sure that we get to a point where it's never going to stop and we need to continue being agile and evolve it. But at least let's get to a point where we feel like it's best in class because we have 20 of our partners support us through that and give us feedback. So we've done that. And now what we're doing is making sure that we focus on the actual execution plan. Now, the execution plan is, as you would imagine, firstly, the operating model, right? So, how are we going to be set up as a business to support the human and AI working together, right? And I believe here that the change is going to be the biggest, right? Because not only do you need to bring people on the journey, you also need to actually rethink which roles will be augmented through AI, which roles will disappear. There will be roles that are going to disappear, which roles are going to appear. And then from that, you plan that journey with the people, right? Because any successful program or transformation program can only happen if people are behind you, if they feel like they're part of the journey, if they support you, but also if you support them through it. That was the first part. And then the technology side of things, foundations, 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 right? Everybody talks about it. It's obviously super key. And how we thought about it is firstly our backbone, what is the IT estate that we have, the digital estate, our data and the data progress that we have, and obviously all of the guardrails and data governance, all of our data management, responsible and ethical AI, all of these things, obviously, to make sure that we are delivering appropriately.
I hope you're enjoying today's conversation. If you're finding the insights useful, please do take a moment to subscribe to the Data and AI Mastery podcast and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. Every new follow helps us reach more people and shed incredible work being done by today's data and AI leader. All right, let's go back to the episode. Super. Well, I'd love to unpack because there's quite a lot of really interesting components here that you describe, right? And it seems like a theme is to, because things are moving so fast, you need to kind of like stay somewhat adaptable to changes, as they come. So if I take you back to the beginning of the journey, it sounds like the first question is something like, how are we thinking about AI? What's the future state with AI? And what came out of that is clearly the organizational structure is likely to look different because of AI. The way business interact is likely to change because we've got agents now through the mix. So that's maybe the diagnosis part of the strategy, right? We have to deal with all those kind of like moving part and possible change. Now, how did you go from that? And I appreciate, lots of research, internal and external conversation to hone down towards answering the question of how we're going to win with AI as opposed to how we're thinking about AI for us as a future state. Like, what was the journey like to identify, the winning use cases, the winning value proposition that's gonna make VodafoneThree like different?
It's all about, obviously, depends on which part of the AI capabilities we're deploying. But I believe personally that it has to do with competitive advantage and getting there first if you can.
Okay.
And sometimes you can't because you will have too much tech debt. So don't even try. Right, and focus on continuing to fix the basics. And I think that's where there's a lot of challenges in a lot of organizations. Everybody is running because they have a fear of missing out. Everybody wants a new shiny tool. They get there first, but the value is not quite there because they haven't done it appropriately. So the low-hanging fruits that we focused on are ones that we knew will give us either customer experience. Customers first, we need to focus on that, and we need to deliver the best. And we know that if our customers are happy, they will stay with us and they'll continue buying more products and they continue talking about us positively, which is what every organization is looking for. Then the employee experience as well, right? If your employees are happy, they're going to offer a much better experience to their customers, and therefore your customer is happy, but also you're going to be able to retain talent, which, as we know right now, is a very difficult thing, specifically in niche areas. And then obviously in terms of the numbers, then thinking how you're going to be able to differentiate with products and services and get there faster, definitely.
And I guess How do you measure success, right? Like in this environment where you've got customer delight, employee satisfaction, product differentiations. How do you think about success, with the AI strategy in that scenario?
We are in the journey of defining that. And I think, again, it's going to be a very iterative process because it's early stages, right? We can think about it as if we talk about any Gen AI capabilities, we have, for example, bid management proposal assistance that we've built and deployed. It's integrated into Copilot and it's helping our colleagues be able to write things much faster. So that gives them opportunity to be able to support customers much faster. Customer is happy, employee is happy. That's success for me,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
correct.
Definitely. But then maybe for someone else, it's not because they want more proposals that are signed off faster, etc. So I think it's really important to give it a little bit more time and do it and measure progress. And eventually, we can define what are the key criteria that we believe are going to be our success criteria for the overall transformation. That's how I'd recommend any organization to do it, definitely.
Interesting. And how important you think is the, talk the talk and walk the walk, right? You can have like a top-down approach where you kind of like, hey, this is great. We all need to be data literate and so on. But what about leaders themselves, showing the data literate or even AI literate? How important do you think that is to model like behaviors, like, or where do you draw the line, as well?
Yeah, it's really important. Absolutely. I mean, you can't ask people to do something. It's like have a 7-year-old,
Yeah,
right? And she's crazy about chocolate. Thank God I don't like
chocolate.
chocolate. I can't have an apple and then I'm gonna have chocolate. You're not gonna have it, right? It's
Yeah,
never gonna work. So you have to absolutely lead by example. And if you're gonna go and ask people to start using AI, you're gonna measure the adoption and make sure that you drive it through that way. Then you have to show them that you can do it yourself. That is a no-brainer and an absolute.
that's fascinating. So parenting makes you a better leader. That's like a good takeaway.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I think she's more the leader in the house than me, but or the boss. She's the boss in the house.
So speaking of AI strategy, if we kind of look forward, how do you think about, executing on that strategy in a landscape where clearly capabilities keep improving super fast, right? So how do you manage, executing on your vision, the business kind of priorities, but also kind of like keeping an eye on the evolution of the technology itself?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting one, right? Because, and I've been reflecting on this in the last few months. I've worked on programs where they were very waterfall, and I've worked on programs where I pushed a lot on agility because I think it is really, really important. But I do believe, interestingly enough, that in the era of AI, we need to create a new way of managing change and governance that is a bit of a mix between both. I think the waterfall space, and I'm not talking about like
Yep.
really rigid waterfall, but kind of a little bit more gateways when it comes to anything that matters more, like the foundations, security, privacy, ethical, responsible AI.
Hmm.
Needs to be a little bit more waterfall and very thought of and managed appropriately. And then on the rest in the implementation, in the actual POC and before kind of production, it's good to be agile because you can test, learn, and change things
Yep.
as you go. So I think a little bit of a hybrid of way of thinking and doing things is going to be required because we can't deliver either or for sure, is what I
That's
see.
pretty cool. Like a governed agile
Yeah,
approach.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. We talked a lot about agile, which is like waterfall and
Ah,
agile, but govern.
watch I like that.
Yeah.
Is it because AI presents risk in terms of, it can get it wrong, decisions could have an adverse impact on the customer? So I guess it kind of raises the question, when do you decide that, an AI system is ready to be in front of a customer versus we're going to keep putting guardrails around it, this waterfall approach just to minimize risk, but as a result, you might not capture the whole customer experience, right? That you could get out of the technology. Like how do you think about this dilemma, I guess?
So, I mean, managing risk, right? We manage risk all the time. It's not just with AI. Throughout my career, we've managed risk through committees where we'd look at the pros and cons, the risk level, and then from that, if you have the proper mitigation in place, the mitigation would need to be delivered within a specific period of time. And in general, it's a committee where you have proper representation from privacy, from security, etc. But what's for sure is that you never take any risk when it comes to customer and impact on customer,
Yeah,
right? As much as possible, if you can do it for things that you can manage internally, test and learn and evolve it, absolutely, definitely.
that's fascinating because you've got the FOMO and the FOMO, right? There's the fear of messing up,
Mm.
there's the fear of missing out. And when you're a large organization with obviously lots of customer and regulated, it's tough to get the right
Yeah,
balance because reputational damage can cost a lot, but at the same
yeah.
time, not embracing new sort of
Mm.
technology and customer experience enables, new startups to come in. So I do wonder, what does it take to find the right balance in
Yeah.
this environment?
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? It's balance.
Mm,
It's like the answer is in the actual saying. The right balance is balance because you don't know what you don't know. You
yeah,
can't see the future. So what you need is make sure that you go through a process that thorough and that you protect obviously your customer, that you protect the business as well, and make sure that you are compliant. That's the most
yeah,
important thing. Everything after that obviously is good. And I always say, I think this is more kind of personal than professional, but I always say if there's doubt, that there's no doubt, right? Don't take a risk. If anyway from the beginning you're going to think about something that's too risky, don't even think about it. It's not the right time.
yeah. That's a good guidance.
Yeah.
And it sounds like ultimately it goes back to strategy, right? You have to make some choices, and the choice of one organization will differ to another
Yeah.
organization.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot that can be done now, even maybe the benefits are not going to be specifically against the numbers, but in the space for good, right? A lot
Hmm.
of the AI capabilities that are deployed are helping. Our team looked after a couple of really interesting capabilities in the sustainability place, which is one of the important parts of what we do as well. One of them was looking at how AI can help some of the councils create the right space for recycling centers, for example,
Mm.
right? So, based on propensity for people to travel around and the distance that they're going to go, right? Some of the other capabilities is building reports to figure out how much energy we're using for each one of the big customers that we have. And from that, put in a plan together. So, if there's opportunity to use analytics and AI in spaces where, it's for good and it's managed appropriately, do that, learn from that, and then eventually you can scale it where you feel there's more opportunity.
Amazing. So if we fast forward 2, 3 years, what are you most excited about in the age of AI, of course?
Oh my God, so much. I can't wait to have a robot at home that can clean and cook for me the best Moroccan dishes.
That sounds extremely difficult to do, though, because it
I will
requires a lot
teach
of
that.
craft.
So.
You will teach the robot. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm really fascinated by the advance of physical AI. We haven't spoken about it a lot. I mean, there's some really good, again, use cases in physical AI when you think about a lot of the infrastructure. For example, if we talk about connectivity, the deep sea cables that we have, using physical AI to go and maintain that decreases the risk of any injury and stuff, obviously, for people. So there's a lot of opportunity there. But also, like if you're maintaining any big buildings, having the drones and all of these, it's a very exciting space, definitely. So I'm excited
Yeah.
about the physical AI, including what's happening with robotaxis. I'm working with Imperial College on this space
Mm.
as an AI industry advisor, and it's quite fascinating how things are progressing really, really fast. So yeah,
Yeah.
looking forward to seeing how the world is going to be in a couple of years. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am completely freaked out as well, right?
Yeah.
Again, going back to the 7-year-old running in the streets of London, which are less grid than what you see maybe in the US, etc. But you have to believe and you have to support change. That's
Mm.
how we progress and get there.
That's true. And you make a really good point. Like, we're all excited about generative AI, agentic AI, because it's all digital, but there's this other wave coming through of physical AI, this kind of progress
Mm.
happening. And if you merge those three waves together, I mean, it could be
Yeah,
quite different world.
yeah, absolutely,
Super.
absolutely.
Hey, can I take you to a quick fire round of question, like short question, short answer?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. One question that comes to mind is being a fan of Harry Potter.
Mm.
If you had a magic wand, what would be one issue in the industry that you'd love to be able to fix and address?
Definitely the diversity and inclusion point that we've discussed. I think we talked about it for a little bit, but what has been really interesting is also, and I talk about it a lot externally, the fact that there's a lot of effort across the world actually to push diversity through ladies and allies actually.
Hmm.
But interestingly enough, the numbers and the stats are not moving the right direction. And I do believe that obviously we need to be the change that we want to see in the world. And we need to make sure that we continue. And all of the efforts across the board will add up into what we want to get to. But the magic wand will hopefully help us get to the point where I don't want anything more than having an organization that is representative of the world that we live in, right?
Yep.
Whatever percentages that is, right? So that we know that we're building and we have people that are completely representative of the world that we are.
And for those listening to the podcast, how can people support?
Talk about it, share more about diversity, learn more as well, right? I think it's all about understanding and being educated. One of the big challenges that we know is the case is the fact that attracting diversity at STEM is very difficult for some reason, and there's a lot of details about what are the determinants on that. So anything that could help actually attracting and supporting girls into STEM areas is really key, definitely. But as I say, it's about educating yourself on it, learning about it, and talking about it. That's how we change the world.
Yep, indeed.
Hmm.
Couple of personal questions now.
Hmm.
What was your favorite subject at school?
Oh, it was definitely math. I was really good. But then I haven't practiced as much for the longest time. And now that I'm doing some of the basic maths with my daughter, I have
Yeah,
to say it's an interesting journey going back.
must be.
Mhm.
Surely AI maybe is helping.
Absolutely. Definitely. Yeah.
Cool. And final question, what's your favorite music genre?
Oh, well, depends on the days. I'm a huge fan of jazz,
Nice.
but I also listen to K-pop now with my 7-year-old.
K-pop.
Is
All
that a
right.
genre? I'm not even sure if that is.
Sounds like it is, yeah. Maybe I should listen to some
There we
K-pop
go.
as well. Get into it.
It's quite
It's good.
seriously, yeah, it gets into your head.
Gets you going. Amazing.
Definitely. And tell me, what do you, Raoul, for the next year or so, what do you believe the biggest impact on AI is going to be?
Ooh, we're reversing
I'm
the
really keen.
table
It's
here.
something that well, I ask a lot to just to understand and learn as well.
Yeah, cool. I mean, obviously biased answer, but I do believe AI can radically change the way education is happening, right? Like AI has made content and knowledge like commoditized at this point. You know, it's readily accessible. I remember when I was a kid to access knowledge, I had to like buy those wiki encyclopedia
Mhm.
books, right? So it take a lot of resource to get them. It takes a long time to
Mhm.
learn and get access to that knowledge. Whereas now it's like one prompt away. So, you know, your daughter is one prompt away from the world's knowledge. So there seems to be quite a fundamental change.
Mhm.
So I'm excited by the opportunity that I can have in the education space, you know,
Mhm.
personalized experience for everybody, wherever you are, whenever you want it. So I think, you know, higher education needs to evolve in the
Mhm.
age of AI. And that's something that I'm excited to figure out. Well, thank you, Miriam. Great questions and absolute pleasure to have you on the show today.
Likewise, thanks so much for having me again.
I've really enjoyed my conversation with Miriam. What a charismatic person and really passionate about the space. There were so many interesting takeaways in our discussion. And first of all, people, people, people. If you are to deliver change and transformation, you need to bring people on a journey. So we talked about the importance of diversity and inclusion. We've talked about the importance of bring people on the journey and removing that fear and resistance that people might have. And the best way to do it is by showing how it can help improve your work on a day-to-day, right? If you can see the reward and you have a better experience on a day-to-day, you are more likely to come on the journey and be excited by it. Now, we also discussed what does it take to design an AI strategy and execute on it. What I thought was really interesting in our discussion, there were several phases. There was the first phase around really taking time to research, do a diagnosis, understand the dynamics in the market and how the technology is evolving. And with that, you know, kind of make a choice of what is a future state that you believe in for the organization. And thereafter, go on a roadshow engage stakeholders, build relationship, and really understand how you can get the business on the journey together. So thank you for listening to this episode and look forward to see you next time. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Data and AI Mastery. If you found value in today's discussion, make sure to subscribe so you never miss an insight from the leaders driving the future of data and AI. And if you're a data and AI leader looking to upskill your workforce with the fundamental data and AI skills to transform your business, Cambridge Spark is here to guide you every step of the way. Be sure to reach out to us on LinkedIn or on our website, cambridgespark.com. Until then, be sure to keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible with data, and remember, mastery comes with continued learning and action. Until next time, stay ahead, stay inspired, and stay masterful.